What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Welcome back to 40 and Fighting again. I think we're already on episode 4, which is crazy. I'm loving the enthusiasm that all you guys are giving us, and all the people coming up to us saying that you guys are enjoying it. Really appreciate it, and it helps us want to keep making this content. It's fun to do, and as long as you guys keep enjoying it, and as long as you guys keep laughing at it, then we'll just keep rolling with it and keep doing it. So yeah. Anyways, I'm John.
And I am the White Belt Slayer. And today, we're going to talk about what not to do in the gym. What kind of gym etiquette do you have?
I like it, gym etiquette.
Shout out to Roxy. She gave us the idea.
Yeah. A few times I think people have mentioned some things, and I was like, man, that'd be a great topic.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any topics you guys want covered, leave a comment down below. Let us know. Walk up to us, tell us, and if it's interesting, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was talking shit about not giving us topics. Like that shit I want to talk about. But if you got a good one, bring it up to me. We'll for sure talk about it. So let's get into it. What should you or should you not do when you're a white belt?
Oh wow!
Let's start at white belts.
Okay, so I'll just be straight up. I sometimes we just flow with these, and so he has some notes and ideas, and I'm just gonna flow with it. My thought of how we were going was completely different, but I like.
Well, I'll start off with it.
Yeah, you go.
All right, so I don't know who teaches this, but it's pretty universally taught through every school. When you're trying to break your guard, dig your elbows into someone's thigh meat as hard as you can until they break the guard. It's funny, Sloth actually posted about that today.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up anyway, but he posted about it today, and I'm like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not dig your elbows into somebody's thighs. You're just going to make them mad. I think, someone did it to me. Upper belt did it to me this week. And I broke the guard, but then I put him in half guard and swept him.
The thing is, I think with that particular move, and I think it is taught as the first escape from someone's guard is that. And I think Omar actually mentioned it the other day where he was like, I teach this to the kids and first.
Yeah, but he doesn't teach to stick your elbows in there. You're supposed to push your elbows
on
on top of the thighs, not grind your elbows into the meat. Yeah.
And I think the thing with that technique too is it does suck, but at the same time, it's not causing an injury and it's just pain. And let's say you try to pull that off in a competition, it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna suck it up and have a bruise. Or you're gonna get triangled because your arms are so low. But yeah.
Or the meme or video that Sloth posted, a dude hit him with the double armbar from there.
The double armbar, yeah, that's a good one too.
Because his elbows were so far inside.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I talked to one of our black belts about it. It got brought up this week. I think I told him what we were going to talk about, and he said, "Why would you not do that? It's a legit move." And I said, "It is legit. It's kind of mean. It's kind of dickhead move. But that brings up all the other dickhead moves that you should or should not do."
Oh, I mean. Anything's a technique.
For sure. Yeah, anything.
Right, anything's a technique.
Especially when you're playing street rules.
Especially when you're playing street rules, Leo. But I will say, in a situation, maybe if you're just rolling around in class, you don't have that. Let me rephrase this. After you've been going for a substantial amount of time, you don't have that adrenaline dump that a vast amount of adrenaline dump
where you're panicking, I gotta do
where
this,
you're panicking.
Yeah.
As a white belt, you probably have that. Your first couple months, every time you roll, you're gonna have that adrenaline dump. But as you roll, 4 or 5 times a day over a couple years, all of a sudden it's not as intense. Right? So in the beginning, like I said, when you if you try that in a competition, that level of adrenaline is there, and you know what? Adrenaline's a hell of a drug, and you're not going to feel that in the middle of a competition.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work, and that's why you don't see high-level people in, ADCC and, worlds using that technique to break the guard, because it's just not going to work. You are just going to piss them off and annoy someone more than anything. So there's better techniques to get out of that position.
If I was thinking about it this week when I got my thighs gouged with somebody's elbow. Normally in that case, when someone does it, especially a white belt, I'll cross collar them across their face and just be like, hey, what you're doing sucks, so what I'm going to do to you equally sucks. Neither of them are submissions.
Can opener, just grab the back of their head.
Yeah, if you're on top.
Yeah, if you're on top.
I mean, it's pretty hard to do from the bottom, but I mean, you can do it from the bottom for sure. You can hit him with mother's milk. Shout out to Louis from the bottom
Oh,
too.
yeah, we're talking about being.
Yeah, because
right.
you got your legs wrapped around
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But yeah, usually if people start grinding, like doing like weird fuck shit, I'll cross collar them just across their face.
Make them stop.
It just not full force, but like
Well, it makes them address
strong.
it.
Yeah, it
where
makes
they
them
have to
think
address
about it.
the
Like, oh,
situation,
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like tick for tat.
Yep.
You know.
No, I get it. That's interesting. I mean, the thing is that you don't know as someone new, you're not going to know a lot of this stuff. You don't know, what's.
A purple belt did it to me.
Well, I'm just. I mean, we were specifically talking about white belts here, so.
I mean, it can flow, but a purple belt did it to me, and I was like, man, this motherfucker is grinding my shit right now. I literally just put him in the half guard and swept him.
I mean, that works. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it does work for sure, and it's like it's sort of it's more of just like it's a dick move. It's more than like, hey, this technique works, it doesn't work. It's just kind of dickhead. Like,
it just sucks. Yeah.
Right before we turned this on, we were talking about I was rolling with somebody, and I put it on him, and then we stood up. He tapped. We stood up. We went for the second roll because there's still time left, and I put it on him so bad I pull guard and played possum for him, and I know he gasses out super quick. Mm-hmm. So he tried to armbar me, and I was like, there is no way this dude is going to break my grip. It's just he's never broken my grip. It's never going to get broken. So he's armbarring me like the traditional armbar from the side where you go this way, over. And I'm just holding my gi, waiting for him to gas out, waiting for him to let me push his leg and get up. Mm-hmm. And then he sticks his knee on my throat to try to break my guard. And then things got real for a second, but it's like, that's a dick move. It's like, you should never, I want to do it all the time, especially when I got people in the Kimura.
In a competition,
let it rip.
Yeah,
let it rip.
It's all fair. But in class, we're
supposed to be friends.
Yeah, you're supposed to be friends. And even if you're training for a competition, there's, you want them to be able to train with you. You might hurt someone doing something like, because I have seen a technique like that where they use their foot on their neck.
I've seen that technique too,
like that. Yeah, just to make it super uncomfortable. But yeah, that's a pretty big asshole move to do, something like that. Especially to someone that you want to continue training with as a training partner.
I think the saying is don't break your toys.
Don't break your toys, I like it.
Don't. Yeah. Everyone's there. We're all trying to train together. We're all trying to get better collectively. There's some people we do and don't like. I mean, sure, to every gym. There's guys you like, some guys you don't like, some dudes you don't like to roll with. Yeah. But for the most part, everybody's there trying to lift each other up. Yeah. Why are you 100%. Putting your knees on people's faces or, but if it's a legit technique and you're grinding your fist, that's different. But if you're just, you can't get out of the guard, so you're going to try to create pain to get it to open them. I think that's kind of whack.
Yeah, I believe it. I agree.
So that brings on like another what is on the gym etiquette thing, dick moves. Should you wrist lock white belts?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the rule of thumb, and I think it's more. It's not necessarily. You know what? It's interesting because I think it's more about not allowing white belts to wrist lock each other. And that big part of that is that there's certain techniques that require finesse. Yeah. And as you know, most white belts, especially your first week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, you're getting used to moving your body. You're getting used to the technique. You're getting used to all these things, and everything's new to you. It's like a new language, and then you throw in a submission that you have to typically you have to catch it, right? And anything you have to catch, you have to get to.
That's a submission you have to rip. You can't. You can.
You don't have to rip it, but you have to catch it, and that without. How do you explain it? It's like you have to catch it without going too far with it. Otherwise, you can't hurt someone.
It's pretty hard to catch. I mean, unless you're like in the perfect position where they're pushing the hip, and then you hip into them. Yeah. That one you can ease into. Or if they're really defending it, like with a fist, and they're not letting you move it, you can ease into it. You can pull it.
But I think that's the reason the rule exists, so that you don't, so that they don't, you don't have a bunch of people walking around with wristband or not even being able to make it back to class because they hurt themselves or they hurt someone else, and they feel bad because they hurt someone. Yeah.
I'm wrist locking white belts on the regular. You give me that wrist. I usually check if you're 2-3 stripes. You're getting wrist locked. No stripe guys, I won't wrist lock. I was rolling with a no stripe homie this week, and he put his hand on my hip, and I had to stop, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you got to move your hand." And he's like, "Why? So you don't wrist lock me?" And I was like, "Exactly." And I kind of hipped into him for a second, and he his eyes got big, and then he moved his arm. And I was like, "Yeah, don't do that."
I don't think I've gone for one. I've been in a lot of positions where I'm like, I wish I could just, they're just giving it to you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man.
It's hard not to do. When they're giving it to you, it's hard not to take it. It's like when
it's just like they're just like dangling, like oh here it is,
Yeah.
they're just dangling their wrist.
Or they
out
grab
for
real
you.
low on your gi, and you're like, oh man, the angle I can get on this wrist lock right now would be.
So I don't necessarily go for it. I have gone. I've done what you've done, where I'll be like, hey, be careful. Especially if they're like 3.
If they're a no stripe, if they're 2, 3, 4 stripes, they've been rolling long enough. They're getting wrist lock. I'm sure I mentioned this on here before. I talk about it all the time, but Oscar wrist locked me like my third roll ever. My third roll ever. He wrist locked the shit out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more. The rule was more so that they don't hurt each other.
Yeah, it's more so they don't hurt each other.
And it's kind of like, heel hooks and knee bars and stuff like that.
That's what I wanted to bring up next. First of all, you should not knee bar your homies if you're getting ready for a competition.
Why you bring the bullshit?
Yeah, don't be knee barring the homies when you're getting ready for a competition. But no, the heel hooks, even ankle locks. I mean, you can blow someone's shit out doing an ankle lock. Yeah. This week, I think it was this week, Nicky Ryan talked about. He's from Gary Tonon's gym, right? And then he started cross training with Danaher and at the Blue Basement, I think it's called. And he said like his first week there or whatever, he heel hooked another. He was a white belt, like he was new. Yeah, and he heel hooked another white belt. The dude wouldn't tap, and he said he blew his shit out and never came back. So I mean,
and I think that's what it's about. Is there's certain levels to learn. I don't think you should be unaware of those techniques. And I don't think you should maybe drill them or learn them. You just shouldn't, not using them in a live role is where the key is. Yeah. Like, I think you should drill them. I think you should learn about them. I think you should learn how to defend them. Knee bars, heel hooks, wrist locks, all of that. And at whatever belt, I think you should at least be learning it. But I do agree with certain things, like at a certain level. But it's weird because some techniques are I feel aren't as bad as others. So I mean, on the same token of, you can't do this at this belt, and you can't do this at that belt. And I know you don't have a lot of experience with it, but the kids' classes, for example,
they can't pull the head from the triangle, right?
One, you can't pull the head from the triangle. It doesn't make sense to me. That's like a dumb rule. When you can armbar someone, you can go for an armbar. I
thought they stopped arm bars at kids competitions.
I mean, they try to, not in like World League and like but like in in-house they will.
Yeah.
But another good example is you can't Ezekiel.
Why? Because you break someone's windpipe. I mean,
I don't understand it either. I mean, as a kid, I'm like, Ezekiel's not. I don't see it as anything.
It is, for sure. My introduction to Ezekiel was like my second or third class. He still had me doing like the 30-minute intro or whatever. And now he's a brown belt. Then he was a giant blue belt. Was showing it to me, and then he showed me the apple. When you make the fist and go on the Ezekiel.
I never do that.
Man, he put his full weight into it. I wanted to die.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see that being any more dangerous in armbar than, let's say, a rear naked choke.
Danger level, it's the same, but
jumping guard. Jumping guard is more dangerous than.
Or flying armbar. Don't fly an armbar.
Flying armbars.
I saw someone flying armbar someone today, and they landed right on their head.
If they did it wrong.
Not today, this week, but yeah, it's like don't do those.
But that's what's interesting.
But no, wait, on the armbar, it's like you might pop their elbow or something like that. That you can come back from that. If you crush someone's windpipe, they're donezo.
That's what you tap.
Kids don't know how to tap. That's the thing.
How to tap.
They don't tap as good.
Maybe.
I've seen kids with like fully locked arm bars where their arms are bending, downwards, and they're still not tapping.
That's a matter of pride and I don't want to tap kind of thing versus.
We talked about it. Potato had that happen to him. He didn't want to tap. Got his shit blown out. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's the same. But let's get back onto the etiquette. I thought of some new stuff. More on etiquette. This is day one shit. Jiu Jitsu is expensive. I don't think anybody denies that. It's relatively expensive, especially if you got a whole family like you. You're paying for 4 or 5 memberships, right?
Yeah.
Try to buy 2 gis, and if you can't buy 2 gis, wash them.
You have to wash them every
your
time.
Gi. You have to wash. Don't ever wash your belt.
Wash your belt. But
that's why this fool loses all the time. He washes his belt.
Wash your gi.
Always wash
after
your gi.
Class.
Yes.
Before the next class.
Or if you don't wash them after class, like you should wash them every class. No, don't do that.
That's the key. Wash them before the next class.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that bullshit like, oh, I don't smell that bad. I get two classes out of per. Don't do that.
Yeah,
that shit's
don't
nasty.
be that person.
But I don't wash my gi right after class. But I open them up so they dry out.
Yeah.
You know, so they kind of air out.
That's what I meant to say. Is wash it before your next class. Just make sure they're washed before your next class. Yeah, because it's nothing worse than someone that smells and rolling with that and they're like, yeah, I don't smell. You smell. You smell. Yeah. Your crusty gi is disgusting.
Yeah, there's a person that used to come to our gym. They don't come there anymore, and they smelled like rotten milk every time we'd roll with them. And I don't think it was the gi. I think it was just the aura they put off.
Well, that's another thing.
Dude, take a shower.
You got to take a shower after
class.
Brush
your teeth.
You must take a shower after class.
Yes.
After class. At least within the first hour or two.
Within an hour, you must take a shower.
Because
if you come back with ringworm.
Come back with ringworm.
I will tell you, I won't roll with you.
Staph infection. Like, there's tons of things.
And I'll tell on you. If I see you have ringworm, I'll tell on you.
That's why you wash your belt, because your fucking belt gets all the same germs. It's the same crap.
It's absorbing skill level. It's absorbing the technique.
This guy.
That's the aura.
This guy.
I mean, I put it in the sun.
That kills germs too.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that does kill
especially
germs.
like
it's not the same as like washing it.
If I notice my belt is like to the touch is damp, I'll let it in the sun.
What they should make, and they do make these for like motorcycle helmets. If you guys are motorcyclists, they make this like it looks like a refrigerator. You put your helmet in there.
Is it UV light?
It's UV light, and it like kills all the germs and bacteria.
Yeah, but we got the sun outside. Just put it in the sun.
Yeah. I'm saying, but you can.
I hang mine up. I hang it so like the breeze blows through it, and then the sun hits it. And it's clean.
But it's
dry.
I think general hygiene is a rule.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Cut your fingernails. I got a big ass scratch on my fucking my hand right now because someone didn't cut their fingernails. Yeah.
You can blind someone. Yeah.
You can blind someone. Yeah. That's a huge one.
Yeah. And
I've gotten it close before.
Yeah, I have
it's
to.
Super close.
I have to. Yeah.
So cut your fingernails, brush your teeth, wash your ass, wash your gi.
Cut your toenails.
Cut your toenails.
That's for you. I mean, not for you, but that's for the person who's toenails.
Yeah. If your toe gets stuck in the mat,
or if you're pushing,
that fucking thing comes off. Did that happen? Who did that happen to? I saw that someone happened. They lost their whole toenail. And I
know who you're talking about.
Oh god.
Yeah, he told me he was pushing off the mat.
Dude, it just looks painful to.
It hurts. I had that happen to me too.
Rip your toenail off. That's crazy. Yeah. Like, cut your toenails.
I have super bad feet and toes already, so I try to keep them really short. But one time, they weren't as short as they should have been. They were about that long, which is pretty short still. I mean, my skin was in front of them, and I was pushing, and just the way I pushed, my toenail bent in half, and it ended up popping off. It popped off like a couple weeks later.
It makes me cringe. That's so painful.
Yeah, it's so bad. Cut your fingernails. Wash your hair.
I think that.
But you know what we should have at the gym? I've seen other gyms have them. The little pumpers full of mouthwash.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, to just get a quick mouth rinse.
Yeah, and you got a little throwaway cup. I try to chew gum.
I brush my teeth right before I go to class. I always brush teeth. I make sure my kids brush their teeth. I'm like, hey, did you brush your teeth right before we go to class? It's always the first is brush your teeth.
If I don't brush my teeth before class, I use mouthwash and I'll start the class with gum. It also helps me I feel like it warms my mouth up a little bit, so I'm not dry heaving, But if either of us stink, tell us. Yeah. Because as a fat dude, being smelly is like my worst fear. Yeah. Sometimes if you've been rolling long enough or you've had the same gi long enough, sometimes they just smell no matter what you do. I'll be in class and I'll sit there.
Gi for that.
I haven't had to retire anything yet because we'll soak them and go through the OxyClean process.
My very first gi.
Breakpoint. Yeah.
It got to the point where I would wash it, it would dry, no problem. Didn't smell like anything. And then as soon as we'd start sweating and it'd warm up.
It smelled like a fart?
And I was like, fuck. And so I tried with everything I could and I was like, it's time to retire.
Did you soak it though?
I soaked it.
Really? Yeah. So I'll notice.
The only thing I didn't try was vinegar. I have read people say soak it in vinegar.
A lot of people say vinegar, yeah. We soak it just on OxyClean, I think. I don't know if Brandon does it, but we soak it for a whole day.
Oh, I've never gone.
Yeah, so we'll do the bathtub. She'll fill it up with hot water, dissolve the OxyClean into it, and then let the gi soak. And the water will visibly be a different color. We're not even agitating it.
Just sitting.
Just sitting, yeah. Because the gi I like to wear the most is a King's gi I've had for about 2 years. I got it pretty quick, and I love it. It's broken in. I actually had the pants hemmed on that one. It feels really good. But every once in a while, I'll be rolling. As soon as you get sweaty, not even rolling, in the warm-up, as soon as you get sweaty, I'll be like, man, did I fart? Did someone fart? And I'm like, oh, shit, my gi smells like a fart. And I'm all worried about it the rest of the class. And I'll have to tell Brianna to soak him.
Yeah. That's the worst. And then, if you're rolling with someone and their gi stinks, it's pretty pretty bad. It sucks.
Yeah.
Especially
if you play
stuck.
bottom like I do.
Yeah, if you get stuck, it's horrible. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah, like, not only is this dude whooping my ass, but he stinks, too. It's like, oh, it smells like trash.
You're just sitting there like, I can't believe I'm stuck here in this.
Makes me try harder.
It does make you try
harder. When people smell bad, like
you don't want to be stuck in a bad position.
Yeah, when people smell bad and like you duck your head and you smell them, you're like, oh, I gotta try way harder to get out of this. Maybe it's a good motivator.
Maybe
that's a good motivator to be active.
But don't stink. Like
don't stink.
hygiene, wash your gi, cut your toenails.
That's a big one.
All that stuff is super important, man. One is for you, so you don't get skin infections.
Yep.
So that you don't end up with something, so you don't smell. But it's for your training partners too. You don't want to roll with people that stink. You don't want to be known as that guy that everyone's like,
the stinky guy.
Like wrong with this person, and everyone's like, oh, I know why. You don't even have to say it. It's just like, oh, I don't want to roll with that person, and everyone's like, oh, I know why.
Yeah, and I think the next one is like on to like the same hygiene thing. I've been to conservatively 15 to 20 different places to roll. And they all have a sign where they say, from this point on, no shoes.
No shoes, yeah.
Right? Respect that rule. It's because some people are, especially at our school, we have like a no shoe area. So you leave your shoes in the one area and you walk around. So everyone's on and off the mat walking around. And then you get on the mat. Luckily,
bringing all that
bringing the germ. Your feet are dragging those germs and stuff onto the mat. And at our school, it's bad. Some people don't respect it. And like, I'll be yelling at people. I don't know if you ever hear me, but I'll be like, "Hey, take your shoes off."
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too. I see it mostly with like the parents in the kids' class. I'm just like, man, take your shoes off.
Take your shoes off. I'm gonna start enforcing that more. So if you hear me yelling at people,
I need other people to
I
know Jay's always like yelling at people.
Yeah, Jay's always like, "Hey, take your shoes off."
Yeah. But I agree. Or going into the restroom. There's sandals there.
There's sandals there.
Use the sandals.
Use the sandals. Yeah.
Go to the bathroom. Use the sandals. Just
again, on the jiu-jitsu is expensive. Gis are expensive. Everything around is expensive. Invest in a pair of $3 flip-flops. I know you can get flip-flops for cheap. Don't bring your shoes to the gym. Like I'm Croc life, so I wear Crocs because I'm a real man. But just take your shoes off in the appropriate place. Like some places are just take your shoes off at the mat. And if you walk off the mat, put your shoes on, right? Yeah. But don't wear shoes. Wear sandals. Wear Crocs. Yeah. Something you can slide your feet in and out of. Yeah. Hey, don't bring.
That's more of a pro tip right there than anything.
But don't bring those nasty, fluffy house shoes.
Fluffy house shoes? Those not seem
nice. Man, there's some. I don't know if it was at our school, but there's some people you come in, they're like, oh, but they're slip-ons. Like, yeah, but they're fluffy slip-ons.
One time I have these like Nike slip-ons, and someone else had some. And I had
stole them.
They stole them, and I went over there to grab them. Theirs were so crusty. They were they were nasty. And then I was like, how they were so bad that I was like, how did you not realize those weren't yours? I'm pretty sure they realized they weren't theirs and took them anyway. So I bought another pair, but different color that I hadn't seen there, and so now I rock the red ones instead of the white ones. But I was like, ugh.
This is on that, and this goes to etiquette too. If you get home and you notice you have something that's not yours, take it back.
Yeah.
Like
don't be embarrassed because it happens.
It happens. Like
because didn't your girl lose her gi?
Twice.
Or her belt?
Yeah, her whole bag. Her whole bag one time her whole bag got taken and the homie realized it probably like a couple minutes away and he brought it back, a little kid. The second time or the first time her gi got taken with her belt, which never got it back. And the real bummer thing about it is she started wearing my old white belt because we were both. She was 4 stripes at the time, and mine had 4 stripes on it when I stopped wearing it. So when she got promoted, Hoyler promoted her, Hoyler gave her belt. So she took my belt off of her, and then he tied it in the knot, which you're never supposed to undo. So I have my white belt tied in a knot by Hoyler, and she has no belt.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's mistakes happen.
Yeah.
So it's like I can understand where someone might feel like, oh man, like maybe they're like they don't want to be thought of that they stole it or something. But
it's
no
not
one's
stealing
gonna,
if you bring it back.
No one's gonna think that. Accidents happen. It's just really frustrating when you lose something. I lost my blue belt. That's why I had to get another blue belt. Someone took my blue belt. I didn't lose it. Someone took it. There's no way I lost it. I've searched my house everywhere.
That's how you lose things.
Yeah,
who wears an A17 belt?
Look, if you're out in the woods,
what do they cut it in half and get 2 belts?
If you're out in the woods and you need to climb a mountain, that's what that belt's for.
It'd be perfect for it.
Yeah, it's perfect for that. It's a survival belt.
What is that thing, like 75 inches around?
But yeah, someone took my belt and it was like a custom belt. Like I bought a sick ass belt because I was like, this is a cool belt.
What was it?
I don't even remember.
I remember you had a cool one.
Yeah, I was like, it was dope, and then someone took it. And it's like, you take it, and you're not even gonna wear it here. Like I haven't seen it. No one's like, so I mean, I got another one, but still, it's kind of like just. If you take something, bring it back. It's not a big deal. Just be like, hey, I accidentally took it.
Even if it takes a week, to bring it back, like, hey,
just bring it back. Yeah.
I accidentally took this. I didn't know whose it was. I brought it back, and everyone. I look at the lost and found all the time. Maybe there's some goodies in there I want. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, when she's like, hey, lost and found was cleaned out tomorrow. I'm like, dibs.
Yeah.
Dibs. Any rash guards in there?
Yeah. Going back to dick moves or gym etiquette, on like I believe you should wrist lock two stripe white belts and up. Give them the ankle lock. Maybe don't rip it because they might roll the wrong way and blow their shit up.
White belts can ankle lock.
No, they can't. No, I mean not IBJJF and not if your school's on the IBJJF rule set.
Okay.
If you're rolling ADCC, everyone's getting everything. You know what I mean?
You
can smash people off the mat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we were talking about like frowned upon things like
Did you get slammed yesterday?
Someone got slammed yesterday?
Yeah, they got slammed hard. I was like, oh, we were like, they're gonna feel that. And it wasn't like it was like they were like guard standing and they fell forward, fell. So it was like it turned into a slam, and I was like, ouch.
But on that, so wrist locking white belts, ankle locking them, and putting your knees on their faces. Those are all kind of dick moves. Even grinding the cross collar on someone's face. I do it a lot. I don't mean to. I'm usually stuck in a bad position when I'm trying to get out. Like, I had to hit him up the other day. I was like, hey, man, I didn't mean to grind your face because I'm trying, especially he's getting ready to compete. I don't want to grind his face all up and shit.
I recorded that video.
Yeah, it'll look good.
I was going to post it.
You should. You can see me grinding his face.
Well, this is the last time we rolled, so you were on the bottom. You tried to pull. Yeah,
but did you pass?
Were you on the bottom?
Did you pass?
Were you on the bottom?
I would have won because I had the advantage.
No.
Because I put you there and held you there, and you didn't pass.
I don't think you would have won.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have won.
And also, going back to winning, this dude won a tournament, and he said that he won it by advantage. You did not win by advantage. You won by decision. That's different from advantage. No, it was a decision. Unless you have a video of it, there's no points there. You won by decision.
I think I do have
no advantages for this guy. Anyway, back to the techniques. This is a really good technique.
I just want to point this out. Where's yours?
Do you want me to bring?
Do you want me
to bring the?
Oh, it's not here now. So
I'll bring it next week. I'm going to bring. Look at his. Look at his little box. Let me see this little box right here.
Edit
his one little silver participation trophy right here.
Edit it out.
Mine is this big, full of participation trophies. I'm going to bring those for you. But this is a super good technique. It works 99% of the time, every time. Should you or should you not oil check the homies?
I don't even. I'm not even gonna give you. This ain't wrestling, bro.
Well, in wrestling, it's a legit move. You'll see dudes go 4 fingers deep in that asshole and fucking get out of shit.
Crazy,
dude. The butt cheeks are the best handle. If you're, dude, I was rolling with someone the other
day.
Yeah, I was rolling with someone. I rolled with someone the other day, and I was doing, the move where like you collect right under the cheeks and you kick your foot out to get out of the half guard or whatever. And I went down and I grabbed and he wiggled, so I couldn't grab my own hands, and I caressed homeboy's cheeks right on the bottom. Full cheek grab.
Right. Here, I got one for you. If you're rolling with a dude and you're trying to escape, whatever it is, and you grab his dick, let it go, right? Let it fucking go. This has happened a few times now, and once recently where I'm rolling with someone and I got him in north-south, and they're trying to like create space, and they just grab and try to push, and I'm like, all right, and accidents happen, like
This motherfucker's lying like he's got something to grab.
And they didn't let go, and I'm like, motherfucker, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I would have been like, hey
Twice
man,
now.
I would have been like, hey man, that's my dick. Next time we roll, if you put me north south, I'm grabbing that little root and pulling the motherfucker.
Let it go. That's all I'm saying. Please,
dude, I was
let it go, man.
I was rolling with somebody.
Regrip something. You know what? I'll give you a moment to regrip. Just let it fucking go, bro.
Yeah. I was rolling with somebody maybe about a year ago, and I had him in like a De La Hiva, and I was pushing the leg, and I went to go grab his gi, and I pushed his leg at the same time, so he moved, and I straight grabbed the Coke can, and I was like, oh, my bad. Just meat. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I grabbed fucking just straight meat. It was like a tube. I was like, holy shit.
It's awkward for me too, man. Yeah. It's awkward for both parties, but it's worse when you don't let it go. and you just fucking hold on. I'm like, this fucker.
I'm impressed. Dude. They were holding on to something.
They were holding on. I was just
Straight
like,
meat?
bitch, like, I'm like, it's like, I don't understand why you wouldn't let go. Like, just let it go. Regrip, bro. Regrip.
Yeah, the meat's. I mean, it's a good handle. It's like the butt cheeks, dude. Like sometimes you're passing, and you go for the grip, and you just stick your fingers right in those cheeks. It's like if you're rock climbing. It's the same shit. You get that grip, and you just got to use it. You got to grip and rip. You know what I'm saying?
Grip and rip it. Yeah. All right.
But should not oil check the homies? What's your official?
You should not. Do not do that. That's bad. You're in a gi. You're not fucking in a what do you call it? A singlet. You're in a gi. Yeah. You got fucking plenty of items you can grab. All right.
But okay, so I don't think you should purposely. I don't know. You know the word I'm
purposely.
Going. There you go. Yeah. Look at that word. I don't think you should do that on purpose. Go straight 4 fingers in. But if you're gripping and you feel a cheek, I'm not letting go. I'm trying to get that pass. I'm trying to get whatever I'm going to get. I've had people.
No, I mean I understand the concept of like, hey, if I grab something and I have a good grip, then but don't go for it. Like, and I mean, why would you go? Why would you just grab the gi, the top of the gi pants? There's like plenty of other areas for you to.
That's what I was going to go next. Do you think you should grab the top of the gi pants?
Hell yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, there was a girl. She's still with us. I just don't want to call anybody's names out. But she used to grab people's pants and like throw them. I was like, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, you can't.
She'd be like spiking people on their faces and stuff in the pants grip. Mm-hmm. And that's what opened me up to the pants grip. And a lot of times, like I'll be in the half or even in side control. Someone's got me inside. They're on top of me in side control. And I'll go between the legs, get the pants grip, and be able to at least off balance them enough to be able to move.
If their belt's on, I'm going for the belt just because it's a little bit.
I don't like the belt. The belt moves.
The belt.
It moves.
I like the belt because it's a little more sturdier. I get a good grip. If the belt is there. If the belt is not there, then I'm grabbing for the back of the pants. Yeah. Like I feel like the next best grip.
I go waistband, and I'm not in a hurry when I'm rolling. So like I'll go waistband, and if I feel underwear, I'll try to get between the underwear and the face band and the band. So I'm not like fingers on skin. Yeah. And when I do pull it, I don't want someone's asshole coming out. Yeah. One of the homies was rolling in a tournament, and the dude gripped him so funny, his whole fucking pants came off, and he kept passing. Just kept it going, full ass out.
Going. You got until the ref stops you. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna lose. This happened a few times in tournaments. Didn't that happen in like
the Worlds last year? Yeah. 2 years ago at brown belt, Ty Rotolo or Cade Rotolo versus Mika Galbao.
Yeah.
It was the short hair one, which is I think is Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Cade's whole asshole is out. That fool has a hairy asshole.
There was like I saw one where like dick and balls were like hanging out. That's how far it went down, and they finally stopped. Like there was a silhouette back there. I was like,
just fucking hanging.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Well, the Rotolo brother that it was. I'm bad at knowing who's is who, but it was the one with the short hair when he was fighting Mika. Dude, his whole asshole was out, dude. Yeah. Like you could see like this. You could count spokes, dog.
Count spokes.
That shit was wild.
Count spokes. God damn! I don't think I've ever heard that. But immediately, I caught that image in my head.
That happened to me. That actually happened to me maybe about. I wear shorts under my gi. Do you wear anything under your gi? Just underwear?
Yeah. Well, I wear boxer briefs, so they're like tight anyway.
Well, so I wear shorts because I don't like to not have pockets like when I'm walking around, and I don't want to go change. Like, do you come in wearing your pants?
I know this fool pulled the fattest move.
Oh
ever.
Shit, that's a good one.
He's rolling. He goes, hold on, stop. He goes, you want to see some fat guy shit? And we're like, what? And he fucking reaches into his gi, goes into his pocket, and pulls out fucking chocolate candy.
No, it was Airhead. It was
some sort of candy in his pocket. And I was like,
because I usually try to get like something really sugary before class. For sure, it helps me. But I was sitting there and like we were doing technique, and I was like, why do my shorts feel funny? I was like, what the fuck? And I grabbed my short, and as soon as I grabbed it, I knew exactly what it was.
It was pretty funny.
And I just reach into the gi and pull out an Airhead. Someone took that Airhead. Because I put it on the windowsill and I went to go grab it and it was gone.
The kids,
Before the end of class, someone got a sweaty Airhead.
All right, here's a good one.
Yeah.
A good one on etiquette, and this is probably just for men. Cups.
Do not wear a cup.
All right.
It's a weapon.
I agree.
Yeah,
I was reading.
You can armbar people.
I was reading on. I was on Reddit and someone was talking about wearing a cup. And blah 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 blah. Yeah. And I'm like, dude.
Joe Rogan's bitch ass wears cups.
Like, don't wear a cup.
Don't wear. What are you so afraid of?
Joe
started wearing a cup because he said someone kneed him in the nuts and he was pissing blood. But I mean,
I can see someone that's traumatized or had that happen. I can understand them, but for someone that's never had that happen, it's like the chances like. It doesn't happen that often. Like I've been hit maybe once, and that is like it just doesn't happen that often. Not enough to.
Well, so that it happens a lot to me because I play half guard, but it's never like the shock that makes it hurt. It never really hurts like during or afterwards. I more get like the grinding the shin across the nuts. Like I mean that's a good thing on etiquette too. Like for a cup, I don't think you should wear a cup. It's a weapon.
Especially if you go for an armbar, it's like that.
Yeah, you can bend it over.
Leverage,
That's what I mean by a weapon. And then you could grind your shit into someone's face too. Like if you're on top, it's a legit weapon. You can break someone's nose with it. But on the etiquette side of things, like or just rolling with your partners, like partner safety or being nice to your partner. Should you grind your knee across someone's nuts while you're passing? Like if you're doing the knee slice, it always happens from a knee slice. Like I actually yesterday I was rolling, and someone I don't know how I got there, but I was in the knee slice position on somebody. And I went to go rock him, and I couldn't rock him, and I started to cut the knee, and then I was like, oh, my knee's right on his nuts, so I stopped. And I tried to rock him again, then I just changed the position. Yeah. But I was like, because I couldn't rock him over to get the slice. If you can avoid
it, if you're knee slicing and you avoid it, definitely avoid it. I mean, unless you're in competition, you just go for whatever.
Yeah, blast those nuts if you're in competition.
I mean, I would not do that. That's still fucked up. But, but yeah, especially with your training partners, again, it comes back to like you don't want to hurt your training partners. You want them to want to continue to train with you and get better and whatnot. So, it's hard. But like when you go for like single leg X, sometimes you blast your legs up and it's like if you go too hard, fucking all nuts right there, that's gonna hurt. So,
yeah, it's hard to avoid. Like I feel like I do it a lot because this is going to be some fucking controversial shit.
No, here we go.
I think I'm better than I really am, and I'm better than I am in the gym, but I don't want to spaz out and hurt people. I'm 260 pounds-ish.
That's a first for someone in Jiu Jitsu.
I'm around that, but I can move people, and I try not to.
I think I'm trash.
Yeah. Well, I'm trash too, but I'm better than I actually am, I think. Because when I roll hard with people, people have a really hard time with me. When I start getting my body moving, it's moving. Mm-hmm. But I try not to do it because I don't want to slap people. Like I was rolling with Leo a couple weeks ago, and that motherfucker's strong. Yeah. He's strong and he's good, and like he doesn't mean to hurt you, but he'll hurt you. Yeah. He'll put the pressure on you.
Leo's hilarious because he's always apologizing.
Yeah, after he fucks you up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. We were hand fighting because I was doing my best not to get taken down or to have to pull guard on him. So we're hand fighting, and I straight fucking backhand him in the face, and I was like, "Oh, my bad," you know what I mean? So like, I try not to move like that. I try to.
I do smack people
skillful.
on accident quite a bit.
Yeah,
but I think that's part of it. Like, the hand fighting, and you're gonna smack someone. Yeah. I was rolling with what do you call it, Johnny, maybe like a week ago or I don't know when it was, and I went for a collar tie, but I went like hard and deep. And it like went around his head, and when my palm hit his head, the back of his head, it like went like that, slapped around and smacked him right in the fucking ear. And I heard it too. It was like flap. Yeah, it was like flap, like right on his ear. And he was like, ah. I was like, my bad.
I would have taken him
but it went like it went all the way around, like it just smacked, and it's like just right on his ear.
I would have used that for the distraction.
For the distraction.
Take his punk
as soon as he goes like this, be like boom, double leg.
I guess on the same thing on etiquette and hygiene and stuff. Both of us have beards. I just trim mine. I try to keep mine on a 3-month rotation. If I let it just go wild for 3 months, then I trim it back. If you grab my beard, keep fucking going. I don't give a fuck. Do you care?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's
my decision to have it.
It's my exactly.
I will say I do appreciate people that
let it go.
Let it go when they realize it, or like if I'm rolling with you, like I might go for a collar grip, but if I feel your beard, I'll try, and I'm not like in a position where I'm like I feel like you're gonna spaz out or do something. I'll readjust so that I can try to get rid of the hair.
The hair. I think it was that day that you and I were rolling. I had like that cross collar grip on you from the knee shield, and I kept grabbing your hair. And I don't know if you felt me, but I kept wiping your beard out of my hand.
No.
Yeah, I was gripped. I had you gripped some way. I'm pretty sure it was you, but I had you gripped some way, and I had your beard, and then I would like open my hand and push your hair out of the way and try to get a better grip.
I do the same thing. I don't want to be. And if you've ever rolled with women too,
it's their hair
gets.
I never had that. I've rolled with a couple women, but I've never had that. I've never grabbed hair.
One time I was rolling, and I don't know what I did, but like I had maybe a side control, and my knee was on their hair. So they tried to move their head, and they were like, ah, and I was like, oh, damn, my bad. Yeah. Like, I didn't even realize it. But
I did that to Brandon before. It's funny. But you know what is good, though, when you're not with women, but when you're rolling and you can trap someone's gi with your knee, and they get pinned and they get stuck. Dude, that's the best. You ever have that happen? I started doing it probably about 4 or 5 months ago, where I'd get on top and like pull people's gis out and stick my knee on them. But then I forgot about it, so you just said that.
So
but it works really good because you literally hold them still because they got the gi. You know, they're
so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I definitely appreciate people that like do that. And I did trim my beard out of being a good training partner.
Me too. Same reason. Yeah.
My beard used to be like down all the way down here.
Yeah, mine was close. Mine was like probably like around my chest.
And I know whoever I was rolling with, and they were choking.
Oh, you had it in their mouth?
And yeah, they were choking. And I was on side control, and I was like, "Oh, you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah." And it was like my beard. They were like, I was breathing in your beard sweat. So my sweaty beard was in their mouth as they were breathing, going in and out as they were trying to breathe. And then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna trim it now."
I had that happen with somebody with long hair, a dude with long hair. I don't know what happened. Somehow we ended up like head to head, something was happening. And I took a deep breath and swallowed his hair like, into my throat. And I was like, ah, and I literally had to pull it out.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah, so that's a big part of why I trimmed it as short as I have, because it used to be long, really long. So, I'm looking out for you guys, so don't say I never did anything for you.
On to the next thing of, etiquette and stuff like that. I think this is controversial. You might have to cut this one out. But don't DM the homies' wives. Or if there's a girl in the school and you think she's single, don't DM her.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places to meet women.
I think it's don't shit where you eat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like don't try to fuck girls in the school.
Yeah.
Or if you're a chick, don't try to roll through all the homies in the school.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as like if being older, you've worked places, you've been through a lot of places, and it's the same as like a work environment type of thing, and it really does come down to don't shit where you eat, because even let's say at the very best you do find someone and you end up hooking up and you end up having a relationship, right? If it works out and you get married and you guys have 10 kids, freaking awesome. The chances of that happening is probably pretty rare.
Low.
And you're going to end up eventually breaking up. And then what? Then what? You either have this awkward situation, one of you's going to quit the gym, or there's going to be some sort of drama. There's just going to be something. So it's just better off don't shit where you sleep.
There's plenty of other places to meet people. And if you're in a close gym, I think about 10 or 20 of us kind of hang out at our gym, maybe once a month or once every couple months. We like to go out and drink sometimes. Use the homies in the gym to be your wingman, to get some new ones, to catch something new.
Yeah.
It's like...
I guarantee you, even the girls in our gym, if you're hanging out with the group of girls and they're like my girls hanging out, they'll all be like, "Oh, let me hook you."
For sure.
They want to see everyone strive. They want to see everyone be butterflies and get better.
Women are the best wingmen.
They are.
Yeah. If you,
I think that's a valid point, and especially being in someone else's wives' DMs. That's pretty fucked up in the first place, and I don't think you're going to get sympathy from anybody in the gym, and it'll probably get you kicked out if the right people become aware of it.
And if I find out about it, and I'm friends with the girl and the husband, we're going to fight. That happened at our gym. Yeah, I was ready to fight someone, and he doesn't come back anymore because he was in everyone's fucking DMs and shit. But stay out of the DMs. Like, you know what I mean? Be friends with everybody, but you don't need to DM them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just stay out. Yeah. Don't try to fuck all the girls in the gym.
It's interesting, too, just wearing, like, I don't know the amount of times that I've been out that I've had, like, a Jiu Jitsu shirt on. It's even low-key, like, I was out... I don't know where we were. It was probably Costco. And I had like a Jiu Jitsu shirt on, but it was just a logo. It wasn't like, it didn't say Jiu Jitsu. It didn't say anything. So you only know that it's Jiu Jitsu. I think it was like the IBJJF like logo or whatever. And so that's the only way you know. And someone
Where'd you get an IBJJF logo shirt? You're a World League motherfucker. The one.
That's not. I've competed at several IBJJF.
All right, continue your story.
Anyways.
I'm a World League motherfucker now because fuck the IBJJF.
And someone recognized it. And they were like, "Oh, dude, where do you roll?" And then remember we went to that restaurant, and that girl, she trains at Checkmat. Like, you're gonna run into people all over the place that do jujitsu. Yeah. And so you have plenty of opportunity to find like-minded people outside of your own gym to,
on wearing apparel outside of class. I was at a Panda Express. And I'm standing there. I always have headphones on if I'm at work. And I was at Panda Express getting lunch because success in Panda Express. But I was there and I feel someone like...
Success in Panda Express.
You don't know about that?
I've not heard that before.
Success in Panda Express. Right. But someone like taps my shoulder and I was like, what's this motherfucker want? And this dude was like kind of yoked up and he said something to me and I was like, what? And I take off my headphones And he was like, how long you been training? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, your shirt. And I was like, oh, and we started chopping it up.
Yeah.
And he was like a 3-stripe black belt from Carlos Gracie Jr.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he was super cool. And I told him where I train at, and he was like, oh, you train with that tall dude with the beard? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And we were talking for like 15 minutes. And then finally I was like, oh, you're talking about Roger. And he was like, yeah, that's his name. And I was like, no, I know him, but I don't train with him. Yeah. But that's the cool thing about, it's a good community.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a small community.
Get in other gyms' DMs.
It is a small community, too.
Yeah.
It may seem like there's a lot of people, but if you look at the total population, the amount of people that do it, it's pretty freaking
maybe a couple
small.
million. It's 300 million in this country.
When I try to explain jiu-jitsu to people as a sport, like, let's say you play...
they're like, wait, so you choose to get sweaty with other dudes and let them rub their nuts on your face?
Yeah. It's like when you try to talk about how small it is, it's like, what other sport...
How small is it?
What other sport can you train with world champions?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go...
Where everyone's equal.
Yeah. And where are you going to be able to rub elbows with, a world champion or an NFL player that's, a Super Bowl winner or an all-star quarterback who's going to teach you how to get better at being a quarterback? Yeah. You're not. But here, you rub elbows all the time with with high-level grapplers, and they're super excited and ready to teach you something that you can take and use on the mat, which is crazy.
If you go to AOJ, I think they only got the one main campus in Costa Mesa, but if you go to AOJ at 6 in the morning, Tynan Dalper is teaching class. Right now, I think he's a 3-time world champion. He's undefeated at black belt. He's already won the Grand Slam. And he's just there teaching 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So it's cool that we have that community, small community. You get that opportunity. To be honest, I don't see this being happening for much longer. The sport's growing so quickly that I think there's going to be that gap soon where there's going to be a gap between professional and non-professional. There needs
to be a professional league for gi and no gi that pays. I know if you win ADCC, you get paid. And like Flo's doing the Who's Number One, you get paid, or Fight to Win, you get paid.
But it's not big paychecks.
It's not big paychecks, yeah. But the problem is there's no money for it. Yeah. Like, who's going to sponsor it? Like,
that's what
Who's Number One is sponsored by a fucking by a cryptocurrency company. Yeah. So it's like eventually that's going to go out. So there needs to be people need to reinvest. Like the IBJJF needs to reinvest in the sport. Yeah. I mean, right now they don't need to because everyone's paying to go compete. You pay your $100. If you get far enough ahead, it's $100. But if you wait till it's time, it's $150.
But even then, like you got high level competitors that are no longer going to do IBJJF because they don't pay.
Well, it's huge. Like certain ones, I think every major. So like Pans, Worlds, the American Nationals, the Brazilian Nationals. That's them. Those are the 4 majors. I think they pay if you get first or second.
Yeah, but it's not when we say pay, what, $5,000?
Yeah, it's like $5,000.
That doesn't cover your flight to Europe.
Yeah,
that
no,
doesn't
for sure.
cover your training expenses.
Yeah. So that happened to that chick. What's her name? There's this pretty famous girl. She's got like a shaved head. I can't think of her name right now, or shaved like sides of her head. Mm-hmm. She's a black belt. She did the Brazilian Nationals a couple weeks ago. At the moment, they gave her the win, so she ended up getting second place, and she would have got paid. But they went back later because she's not Brazilian. They overturned the win and gave it to somebody else, and then she didn't get paid before it.
Yeah.
But that's like if you're not Brazilian, you're going to lose every time. Yeah. If there's either or, if you're not Brazilian, you're going to lose.
So going back, I know we kind of swung off topic here, and that's what we do here because we talk about what the fuck we want to talk about. But going back to gym etiquette and gym rules, here's something that I was thinking about talking about. All these gyms have different rules. So if you look up, Craig Jones put up a video about gym etiquette at their gym, and I thought that was a hilarious video, by the way. But he kind of laid down.
I don't remember it. Give me some of the key points.
Basically, he was talking about if you come in there, don't expect that you're going to roll. That you're just going to get to use the gym for free.
Oh yeah, you got to pay.
You got to pay. Unless you're invited, and you probably suck at jiu-jitsu anyway, so why would they, just some generic shit like that.
I remember that now.
But with that said, there's gym rules that are different at all different places. So, like, for example, I think I'm either I can go with or without it, but I like some of that, the structure of the old martial art discipline kind of built into the gym. So, for example, at our gym, they're not super stringent on it, but technically some of the rules that I'm referring to are like bowing when you get on and off
Always
the mat.
bow when you
right?
get on the mat and you leave.
When you get on and off the mat,
Yeah.
right? So that's one that I personally, I think it's kind of cool.
I like it.
It's kind of a, I know it's kind of carryover from, old martial arts and things like that, but it's a respecting, and I think especially especially with like younger kids and stuff, it's cool because it builds that traditional martial art mentality and discipline drives it into them, right?
Well, that right
maybe
there,
as an adult, it's not such a big deal, but for kids, I like seeing that discipline built into it. So bowing on and off the mat, right?
Well, when you bow, when you get off the mat, do you face the center?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm bad at that. I do bow every time I get off and off.
When I get off the mat, I kind of give a half.
You're supposed to turn around and bow to the center.
But here are some of the rules that we can talk about them. I'll bring them all up, and then we can kind of discuss them. But one is bowing when you get on and off the mat. When you tie your belt, you're supposed to tie your belt away from, like, looking at the mat. You're supposed to turn away from the mat and tie your belt.
You're away from your professor.
Yeah, or away from the professor, right? Waiting to get on the mat until your professor lets you get on the mat. So if you show up late or whatever, waiting on the side and having them
wave you in
or whatever, right? And then calling out a higher belt to roll. We'll talk about these a little, but there's another one right there. It's like calling out a higher belt to roll. What other ones are there?
I don't know, but I want to talk about that right there. This is the reason I only call out white belts, because you should not call an upper belt out.
Technically, you're not supposed to.
So if you're a white belt, you're getting called out. Again, I'm within my rights of slaying a white belt.
Again, these are some of the traditional rules. Not every gym is going to have these. You can like them. You could not like at the end of class, you bow to the a quick picture of Helio or whatever. A lot of gyms don't do that. More American jiu-jitsu gyms aren't going to have some of these, and I don't necessarily think they're bad, and I don't necessarily think they're good. I think there's some, there's a little bit of everything. So, anyways, so talking about that, just throwing them all out there, all the different like little gym etiquettes, specifically with our gym, it's a little bit more. I think our gym is kind of a good mix of. It's got some older. Old school jiu-jitsu, old school mentality and it seems to be growing into the new school as well a little bit, right? So,
I got one you forgot there.
Which one?
This is the most important one, I think. I think we have a relatively small gym. It depends on how big your gym is, and it's going to be different everywhere.
I know where you're going.
But do not roll into upper belts. And if you're rolling, and you see an upper belt next to you, especially a black belt, stop and move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do not try to blast double people across the mat.
Be aware of and again, I think you're right. This has to go again. Our gym, our mats, we're not huge, so it's like
I think our mats are 30 by 30.
Yeah, so you have to be aware of your surroundings when you're rolling.
Yeah.
Be careful, and then like he said, if you're a lower belt and you're running up against two black belts going at it, get the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Or even a black belt and a white belt, you got to move for the black belt. That's the respect thing.
And I think that's a respect thing. And I think that goes back to the old school martial art. And a lot of people don't like this stuff.
Yeah.
And I can understand why people don't like it or disagree with it. But it is like, I think it's part of the discipline aspect of a martial art. And I like that part. If it wasn't there, I'd be like, whatever. But I do think it's good. The only caveat to that is, like, if you're rolling and two white belts are going at it, and he's cranking he's in the middle of a submission, and then like you guys bump into each other, I would probably be like, oh, he's in the middle of a submission. And then if I'm not in the middle of submission, we're just like side control something, I'm probably like, let's
if it's
move
two
over.
White belts, fuck that, they gotta move.
Yeah, I'd let it happen.
Nah, they gotta move. Fuck that.
If you worked for that submission,
I worked for my belt.
But you're in side control or something.
Yeah, but I have the position. I worked for my belt. I worked for my rank in the gym. They got to fucking move. Because it's always this fucking spazzy white belts hurting everyone.
You're right.
Falling on top of people.
Yeah,
so fuck them. They got to move. Fuck those white belts out there that fucking try to blast double each other across the mat. This ain't the place for that shit. Yeah, that happens a lot. People get hurt. Yeah, people get an upper belt gets hurt and stops coming. The reason you should move is that upper belt knows shit that you don't know, and they might be able to give it to you. They might be able to teach you how to do shit. But if they're hurt and they can't come back, they're not going to teach you shit.
Yeah. So I like I said, a lot of these rules I can live without, and at the same time I kind of like them just because of the discipline and the old school like martial art mentality that's built into that kind of thing. So like I said, a lot of gyms don't have that. A lot of gyms just are more open, in that sense. So I can go with it or go without it. But the one that kind of like I don't like whatever is the calling out a higher belt to roll. Unless you're a black belt.
I think you should respectfully ask me to roll.
I think that's a cool.
I don't want you to look at me and point. I want you to say,
no.
Would you roll with me, please?
Yeah, I think that's.
Please,
but
sir,
I think that's
as an upper belt,
Get the fuck
you
outta
need
here.
to sir me every time you say, hey,
I think
that's first of all, you won't roll with me because you're afraid.
I think that is a good point, though.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not a big
Do me
fan
the
of
honor and give me this roll.
I'm like, hey, bro, I might look at you and be like, give you one of these, like little wink, and you know what's up, and you're like, yeah. So, I think I feel like that would be cool. Like, maybe unless you're a black belt, I might be like, I'm not gonna ask. But up until then, like, I personally don't. It's like whatever, man. If someone, if I'm like, hey, you want to roll? You can be like, yeah.
I ask a certain black belt to roll pretty often, but I always, say, hey, do you want to get this one in? You can say no, But you should definitely be nice to black belts and ask for the privilege to roll.
Well, I think it doesn't matter. You should be nice to
Yeah.
anybody. Be respectful to everybody. They're your teammates, right? But I think that rule, it could probably go. I think it could probably go. So.
No, I want you to sir me when you fucking want to roll. Like, please, sir, can I have this roll?
That's what you can get.
What do you got? Are you a blue belt?
He can get that.
Purple belt, homie. What's up, dog? Purple.
That's cool.
You're going to post that last roll? Where you can see I was obviously winning from the bottom. I want you to post that one.
I was trying to edit it the other day, but I got lazy and then I didn't.
All right.
So.
But back onto rolling into other people. So this is like where the etiquette and the respect and the upper rank shit comes in. If you're rolling and you fall on my legs and you're a spazzy blue belt, I'm going to kick you. Because you shouldn't be there in the first place. And if I'm in danger and if I stop, my shit's going to get ripped, I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
Here's a better one. If you're standing on the sidelines and you're watching people roll and you see it's about to happen, go out there and stand in between them, or go out there and be like, hey, you got, move the lower belts.
Move the lower belts. Yeah.
You are within your right, and you should go up and get in the middle and stop people. Like,
a couple times recently I was rolling, and I'll hear someone like I'll feel them grabbing, be like, hey, can you guys move? And I'll be like, who's rolling next to me? And I'll look, and if it's lower belts, I'm like, fuck that, they gotta move.
This guy.
You gotta fucking earn your place in the gym.
It doesn't matter.
I got years of sweat on that mat.
I think it's been about an hour, huh?
It's been pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, I mean.
Fuck white belts.
If you haven't noticed, a shout out to his
White Belt Slayer shirt.
White Belt Slayer shirt.
Hey, these are free. If you want a White Belt Slayer shirt, I'm gonna make a small amount of them. Hit me up in the DM with your size. I'll send you one for free. I'm not selling them. I'm only gonna make them this one time. So if you want one, hit me up.
Yeah, and you have to be subscribed.
You got to be subscribed. If I go...
No, this is how it works. You want one for free, you have to be subscribed, leave a comment, and we have to verify you leave a comment and then hit them up.
A comment on YouTube.
A comment on YouTube with a thumbs up.
Yeah. And then, if I already said I'm going to give you one, fuck that. Go back, like, subscribe, comment, all that shit.
Leave a fucking comment.
I'll give you one for free. I'm not selling these.
If anyone asks where you got this shirt, you'd be like, did you watch their podcast? Yeah. If you haven't, go watch it. That's how you get one.
Some 40 and fighting shirts coming in the next couple weeks too. So those ones will not be free.
Yeah.
They're going to be $75 each.
75 bazillion dollars.
Yeah.
A Brazilian dollars.
Yeah. How much money did it take to get your black belt?
A Brazilian dollars.
Yeah. I don't really have much else. I think next week we're going to talk about this fat motherfucker losing all the competitions he's done this last.
So next week we're gonna.
We'll have a special one.
We're gonna be
traveling,
kind of like a little road trip podcast. So it might be a different camera, it might be a little bit different audio. I don't know yet how we're gonna do it, but we were gonna be in the car doing this one. So look out for that one. If you guys have been enjoying it, please leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. Something just to help the algorithm and it helps push this podcast up a little higher. We're also on Spotify now, Apple Podcasts, and a few other ones. So if you don't have time to watch it on YouTube, feel free to go check us out, 40 and Fighting, on any of those other
send me a message, I'll send you the link. Or send him a message, we'll send you the link.
Yep, either way. Yeah. Or just look up 40 and Fighting on Spotify or Apple. It'll come
but
up.
You have to spell it a certain way. How do you spell it?
40.
No, I think it's the number 40.
Yeah, it's number. I was gonna. My head. It's
This motherfucker doesn't even know.
I
That's
did
why.
it, I
That's
don't
why you
even
can't
know.
find it. It's the
number
number's 40, and then the
and
and sign.
fighting. Well,
It's not the
and
words.
fighting.
It's the and sign.
Just go find it.
Hit me up in the DMs. I'll fucking send you the link.
Yeah.
This
Anyways,
dude made it too complicated.
it's not that complicated.
Fucking white belt slayer
But
shit.
please make sure you guys share and like and all the good stuff to help out the algorithms and get this, growing some more. It's been fun. Loving all the people, you guys coming up saying you guys enjoyed the podcast. It's cool to hear that people are listening. So, anyways, you know how to get the shirt. Leave a comment, thumbs up, hit him up in the DM. He'll come and check to make sure you left a comment. It could just be called hashtag white belt slayer.
Yeah, let's make this shit big. If you don't know, my Instagram is beard rolls. Hit me up on there. You'll get a shirt.
Yep. Anyways, with that said, hopefully you guys have a good one. Have some good rolls.
Os.
Os.